And you are under observation of these beings and they save you. Of course there are also powers of darkness. Of course there are Satanists. Of course there are Illuminati and Bilderbergs and all that the Book of Light teaches. But you see, if you reach more and more towards purity, they can't do anything anymore for you or against you. And now comes something strange that I say. Then Satan steps aside and lets you pass. He is the temptation that you have to overcome. Dear friends, there is in nature, visible and invisible, how could you say it? Sorry for my sometimes plump way of explaining things. There's an uncountable amount of beings in manifestation. From the highest monads to the lowest meaning those who still are very much attached in matter. And we have also the term logos, which is thinker, but I will come to that later. We are no atheists, dear friends. Actually, the first Christians were called atheists. Did you know that? Why? Atheist is atheoi or atheos. The Christians did not want to worship the gods of the Greek. And so theos means God in Greek, and a means not, or against. So the Greek called the Christians atheists, atheoi, because they were against the gods of the Greek. There is, though, you see, we say that God is no creator, but we say there is creation. And you could say a collective creation. We call him logos or supermonad. He's sort of an architect that appears first at the manifestation of the universe, reawakening, structuring root matter, as we will see how that is then done. Preparing the houses for those who follow that first manifestation. Like Jesus says in the Bible, my Father has prepared houses for you so that you can live in them. We will soon see what that means. Dear friends, we have this creator, so-called creator, is not perfect. Is not perfect. It is not an extra-cosmic God. God, in its true sense, that you will be experienced at meditation, has no attributes. It has no attributes. It is beyond attributes. Now you could say, oh, the very poor. He doesn't hear, doesn't talk, doesn't speak, doesn't think. Oh, how boring. Well, then, if you think so, welcome in the world of suffering. We have then, in manifestation, the Duan Chohans. These are aggregate powers who, per se, are not perfect. See, the ancient worshipped the sun. But they didn't worship the sun as the glowing body, but they worshipped the being in the sun. Yet even that being, a monad too, in a certain state of awareness, is not perfect. Our earth is also the body of an intelligent being, but it's not perfect. You can see it in the way that it cannot do a complete circle. By the way, it doesn't have a complete circular form, and so forth. We talk about that later. Those beings in manifestation already are dual. Monad is dual. You know. And so, that duality is, one part of it is brute energy, which is matter per se. Whenever you drift in material things too much, you activate brute energy. separating you from the spirit in you. Beware. But this is the plan. So this duality is constantly fighting against each other. And through the method of suffering, the monad decides for the divinity in itself. So, we are confronted with aggregates of Duan Chohan and others, being dual in character, monads. And this duality, dear friends, leads to constant physical manifestations, actions, activities, karma, reincarnation. Whatever is done by these powers, also by us as monads, falls back on us and teaches us either to do good or bad. Time plays no part in it. Doesn't matter how long it takes. This is how we learn to do the right, by doing the wrong. Now everybody who does wrong could say, okay, I'm doing the wrong. Well, do it. And, experience the suffering that you create yourself. Sooner or later you may decide for the other way. We in the Book of Light, dear friends, we study the nature of those hierarchies to understand. But let me tell you that the highest for the Book of Light is the ever to be unknown. It cannot be achieved by knowledge, but you can reach it through knowledge. Then you drop everything that you have learned, because then you don't need it anymore. And then, so what then? What then? Something in you said that I'm right, but I'm honest. I can't use words of the temporary world to explain to you what it is. This is when I say, be the mystery, follow that path, meditate each day. You will see. And you will then, now cautiously I say that, become what you always were. And you had to go through that torment, through this transient world. You are the causeless cause of all causes. See how powerful words are. That has not been caused. Everything that happens here has been caused. But the source, the origin of everything is uncaused. There ends the chain of causation. You want to worship that God? Well, don't do it by prayer, because I tell you, we teach from the Book of Light, we have also humor. We keep our humor. A God who wants to be worshipped belongs on the psychiatric couch, needs psychiatric treatment. Only demonic forces want to be worshipped. Beware. If you want, see, because when you say you worship it, you always create a wall between you, me, the poor sinner, and then this cause. But this is not the purpose of the entire thing. The purpose is to re-become it. Worship separates you. Book of Light leads you to it. So, if you want to become that which you are, you do it in the silence. You do it in meditation. And then you will slowly leave the transient world. Even right now in meditation, while surrounded with the physical transient body, you will become immortal. And then you fully aware go into the mortal body. And then you see the mortal body as something else. You see it like a shirt that you take on and take it off, and you're still there. So there is, for the Book of Light, no speculation beyond the manifested gods. And what people today now do is they call those beings in manifestation. And there are demonic powers among that. They can easily possess you, obsess you. It's virginic, dear friends. It's beyond any definition. But definition leads you to it. Then you have to drop it. It's like with the boat. Again, you cross the river with the boat, you leave the boat, then you're there. You know, if you leave the boat too early, maybe a problem before you reached the river. You may be even able to swim. But if the river is deep and high waves, there will be a problem. So beyond anything that you can imagine is the unknowable. And it is unknown. It is the source and the cause of all that you know. But in many of us, there is still, first of all, the urge to understand that transient world in order to then detach from it. This is where the Book of Light is there for. If you want immediately to detach from it, there's a little booklet. Divine message from the true God. You don't need more. If that is really what you want. Shortcut to God. Because, of course, you can believe in spirits and the spiritual world. It exists. It's a transient illusion, but it exists. See, they all say the world is an illusion. Well, it's true. But as such, it exists. And it's very powerful, especially for those who are attached to it. So we are also polytheists, yes, polytheism, in many gods. Who are those many gods? We will see. They are the seven rays, they are beings in manifestation, and so forth. Every being is a god in manifestation, a monad. Every atom already is a god in manifestation. We are all gods in the making. And this goes here beyond religion, but when you truly understand the Hebrew also translations, you will see that this is the uniting teaching. And of course then the Greek and the Romans, earlier Catholic Church, they had teaching of angels, archangels, archons, seraphs, morning stars, and so forth. It's true. And the church wanted to take that away and said, no, only our God, only one God. Well, in a sense, they are right. There's only one God. But not what they think it is. Something to be worshipped. They worship their Jehovah. It's a planetary angel, a being that has also weaknesses. If you activate those weaknesses, beware. Monads or gods are higher principles. They inform, they activate their input in material world and Mula Prakriti. And you see already the term God, we use it with caution, because divine message from the true God and also the Book of Light teaches clearly that the term God is from the Hebrew letter Yod, which is a symbol for the human penis, the male penis. So beware. We use terms here with certain caution if you say spirit or God, and so we'll come to that. Because basically it is a male. They change God into a male with a penis, with the term God. We are, in a certain sense, we are the most radical. Book of Light is the most radical that you can imagine, but yet it is the most unifying and peaceful. It just takes you away from your way of thinking. It says, it was right until now. Now is the time to return. It's almost, let me compare that. Your thinking until now led you to the half of the river. You want to cross the river, right? If you would continue this thinking, you enter a boat, you want to cross the river to the other shore. So now you are in the middle.